Hello everyone, my name is Ashton and welcome back to my cozy corner of YouTube. Tonight I am filming a spooky nighttime sketchbook session because when I post this it will be Friday the 13th. The plan for tonight is that I will be drawing bloodstain patterns with my Arrtx acrylic markers. I won't be showing the reference for this drawing just in case YouTube doesn't like it. And I guess also just a general trigger warning for the theme of this video. My drawing style generally isn't super realistic though, so you should be nice and cozy. But yeah, expect satisfying drawing time lapses with some cozy music. I will also have one of my voiceover chatterbox sessions. In case you are someone who prefers just drawing without my voice, I do separate out the sections with timestamps in the description. Also, my dryer is going off right now, so I hope that doesn't make it too unbearable if you could hear it in the background. But yeah, that's enough chatting, let's get drawing. I wanted to start off this voiceover by saying I thought I was so smart for giving this page one of those yellow evidence tags with the 13 for Friday the 13th. Sometimes it's the little things in our sketchbooks that make us happy. Anyways, I don't want to talk too much in this video because I want it to mostly be nighttime vibes for you all to get cozy with. But I do love talking and wrote down some things about bloodstain pattern analysis I wanted to talk about because I think the media tends to portray it rather unrealistically. So consider this like a silly little video essay or something. I'm totally gonna nerd out, but if you like true crime, stick around. If not, you could totally skip to the timestamp on screen now for just the drawing. So yeah, just getting into it, bloodstain pattern analysis is a pretty subjective science in that the reliability of the conclusions depends heavily on the skills and training of the analyst. So essentially different professionals can easily come to different conclusions because the interpretation of the complex patterns and drawing inferences about events requires a subjective judgment. And as we all know, humans are inherently biased, like especially confirmation bias. A very famous example is Dwayne Deaver, who provided expert witness testimony on Michael Peterson's case, or better known as the staircase case. In that case, Deaver pretty much neglected to share testimony that went against what I guess you could call his hypothesis, even though he definitely was not using the scientific method. The most damning thing from that case, in my opinion, as a nobody but hopefully a future scientist, was his demonstration of confirmation bias when doing his event reenactments and models, which he had actually sort of become renowned for in the forensic community. Pretty much this dude would just keep reenacting the scene until he got the pattern he wanted, and then used very confirmational language in his testimonies. It's like once he decided in himself that the defendant was guilty or not guilty, he just neglected all other evidence to the contrary and just focused on the one avenue, which you can imagine is problematic and eventually led to a mistrial in that case after many years. So this is a pretty extreme example, but it just highlights how subjectivity limits this field. I say all of this, but I'm still drawing a bloodstain pattern analysis chart depicting impact angles because I find it highly interesting and think it still provides valuable insights. I guess I just don't think it should be used as the driving factor that determines guilt or innocence for a jury. It should, of course, be used in conjunction with other evidence like DNA analysis or other physical evidence to depict a fuller series of events. If you are indeed someone who likes true crime documentaries, you should check out The Staircase, which is a Netflix documentary about the Michael Peterson case I just mentioned as an example. I don't usually watch Netflix true crime docus because they tend to romanticize the circumstances, but yeah, The Staircase does a pretty good job explaining the court process and where forensic science can go wrong. One thing I will say though is that the accused, Peterson, and I won't get into the intense stuff of the case, is a pretty well-known author who contacted a friend to start filming the docu of the case. So sometimes I felt the presentation of the documentary itself was biased in leaning towards making Peterson look better. I personally don't know whether I would find him guilty or not guilty beyond a reasonable doubt as a juror. I think my opinion on the case flip-flopped a lot throughout the documentary, so yeah, if you like the sound of that, then that's a recommendation. This is just turning into true crime documentary recommendations because now that I'm talking about it, the Dark Waters of Crime series did a great job of being transparent about the limitations of law enforcement and forensic science, and using both as appropriately as possible to solve cases. So that series revolves around Canadian cases where water is somehow a hindrance in the gathering of evidence. In my opinion, the methods employed by the crime lab technicians and specialists to bring the perpetrators to justice are really extraordinary, but maybe that's just me nerding out. Let me know your true crime recommendations in the comments below because I'm always fiending for more. Alright, I think that's enough of a nerd off session, so I'm going to leave you with the cozy music. So I'm realizing my dyslexia is kicking in hard while I'm looking at the reference because I keep accidentally drawing features from a different, splatter. So, yeah, this is slowly becoming rough and it's getting late, so... Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked the vibes. I know that not everyone is into the theme of this video, but I have many videos on the more cute and chill side, so don't forget to check out my channel. Let me know if you guys would like more of this nighttime vibe, and I hope you survive this Friday the 13th. Bye.